Hey math kids, today we're going to continue talking about system of equations. This time we're going to focus just on the graphing method and we're not going to be doing just linear functions. Now, something I want you to get in the habit of doing is trying to figure out what type of function things are before you graph them, just so it becomes second nature to you. So this top one, it's in y equals mx plus b, and so this is going to be linear, or it's just going to be a line. It's a line of some sort. This, because x squared is our highest power, this is going to be a parabola, and since the leading coefficient right here is positive, that means that it's going to be upward facing like this. So we have a line and a parabola. So we have a couple scenarios that could happen. We could have a parabola and a line, and therefore we get two different answers. We could have a parabola and a line where it just barely skims it and we only get one answer. And then we could also have a parabola and a line that don't cross, and so we get no answers. Okay? So you don't really need to guess which one, but I think it's good to recognize that all three of those situations could happen. And what we're going to do is we're just going to graph it and see what happens. Okay, so we have y equals 4x minus 1 and y equals 3x squared plus 2x minus 4. Pull this over. Okay, it looks like we have the situation where they cross twice, and so we want to write down both of those values. Now those aren't, nice values. However, let's see, I think we can click on them and then they stay. Yeah. If you have intersection points or even like y or x intercepts, you can click on them in Desmos and they'll stay on there, which is helpful for this video. So I have negative 0.7. We'll just round to one decimal place on all of these. Okay, so that's one of my answers. And my other answer is 1.4 and 4.6. So if we look at both these points, I just rounded to one decimal place. And those are the values that make this correct. So for example, if I plug in negative 0.7 for this x and then simplify it, my answer is going to be 3.9. If I plug it in for this x, same thing. This will be 3.9. Now if I plug in 1.4 for this x, I'm going to get 4.6 over here. And if I plug in 1.4 for both of these x's, simplify, I'm going to get 4.6. So that's what a solution means. It gives us the correct answer. It's also where they cross on the graph. It's like the input. If the input is this is the output. There's so many different ways you can think of it. Okay, so we're going to approach this the same way. Whoops. Once again, we're going to think about it conceptually, what's going on. So this top one is a parabola. And this bottom one is actually a circle. So circles are not functions because they'll fail the vertical line test. But we can still talk about them on a graph. So we have a couple scenarios. We could have a parabola and then a circle. That's not a very good circle, but it is possible that it could cross 4 times. Okay, we could also have a circle and then the parabola does something like that. So it has 3 solutions. We could also have one that just has 2, something like that. And then we could also have one that has none, where they don't cross at all. Okay, so those are our 4 possibilities. We could have 0, oh wait, sorry, no, there's another one. We could have just 1, like that. Okay, so we could have 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 solutions. So let's see which situation we have. So if we graph this, so we have 3x squared minus 5. And then we have 2x squared plus 2y squared. Okay, so it's hard to see, but we have a little tiny circle right here, and we have a parabola that goes around it but never crosses it. And so what we're going to say is no solutions. And we'll just leave it at that. So let's move on. This one's kind of long. Okay. So once again, the top one is a circle. So if you have x squared and y squared somewhere in your function, it's most likely a circle. In this class, it'll always be a circle, but there's other situations where you can get a different type of conic section, and I'm not going to get into that right now. But for this class, we're going to identify that as a circle, because in this class, that's the only thing that will show up. But in future classes, you may see something different. So this is a circle. This is an exponential function. Okay? So we could have a circle and an exponential function that cross twice. We can have a circle and an exponential function that just skims the side and get one solution. And we can also have a circle and an exponential function that don't cross and have no solutions. So we're going to get either 0, 1, or 2 solutions when we graph this. And let's see what we get. So we get x minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 2. Okay, so we have a circle over there. Get rid of the small circle, and then we have y equals 2 raised to the x. Okay, we got no solutions again, but we can see if we, so our answer is no solutions. But if I move this down, maybe to 5, you can see that's going to cross twice, right? So once again, for the one that was given, we have no solutions. And so we just say that. No solutions. Alright. Okay, no solutions. And this is going to be the last problem that we do. So this top one, whenever we have a number raised to x, that gives us an exponential function. And then this, because we only have x squared, that's another parabola. You may notice that this is in vertex form that we've studied in different videos. So what we're going to do is just look at the possibilities. So we could have a parabola and an exponential that gives us 2 solutions. We could have a parabola and then an exponential that just skims it and get 1 solution, or we could have a parabola and an exponential that don't cross. So I'm going to just do my 3 to the x down here, and then I'm going to do y equals 1/3 x minus 4 squared plus 1, and I see they do cross, that's good. And they only cross one place. So I'll click on that. So it stays on there. Wait, okay, hold on. There we go. So now we just have to write that ordered pair of where they cross. One point, 2. If I'm rounding to 1 decimal place, and then 3.7. And so that's the solution. Once again, if I plug in this x value right here, then and simplify it, the answer will be 3.7. If I plug in 1.2 right here, simplify it, the answer will be 3.7 as well. So that's what it means to be a solution to a system. It also tells you where they cross on the x-axis. If you need additional help, please come to Math Lab. Until then, calculator.